The numbers keep building in the COVID-19 pandemic, even as the pace slows in some hotspots. The United States now has nearly a third of the world's 3 million infections and 55,000 deaths. The White House this evening is also rolling out a plan to expand testing to pinpoint those who test positive and track their contacts. At the same time, tensions are growing over getting back to business. Stephanie Sy begins our coverage tonight.
It's the start of a new work week, and most Americans are still at home. But in some states, more doors are opening for business. Georgia was one of the first states to begin relaxing restrictions last week. That continued today, with restaurants and movie theaters resuming operations. The grand reopening at this Georgia gym over the weekend was quiet, with only a few venturing in for a workout. But manager Mike Martino says his employees needed this.
They have bills to pay, they have mortgages, they have car payments. So we really wanted to start to get in so we could start getting some funds back into their pockets so they can actually, get back to some type of normalcy.
Elsewhere, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced his state will begin letting some businesses reopen on Friday. Meanwhile, public health experts in Washington warn that it's too soon to go back to business as usual. White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator Deborah Birx said Sunday that social distancing measures should last for months.
Social distancing will be with us through the summer to really ensure that we protect one another as we move through these phases.
At the U.S. epicenter in New York, officials are cautious about restarting the economic engines, and they canceled the state's June presidential primary today. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio.
There's a bit of a tale of two cities going on here in this country. The places that seem to be putting, economics ahead of human lives, and then those of us who are trying to focus on the health and safety of people first, and then build out our economic restart from there.
But for countless small businesses in the U.S., it's about survival. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are pressing the Trump administration to set aside at least $10 billion in small business rescue money for minority banks and the like. They say aid is not reaching low-income communities. And even big business is sounding the alarm, like factory farming giant Tyson Foods. The company, which has been criticized for its treatment of workers through the pandemic, took out full-page ads in major newspapers on Sunday, warning that, quote, the food supply chain is breaking, and calling for more federal support. Across the Atlantic, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson returned to work on Downing Street after needing hospitalization for COVID-19 symptoms earlier this month.
We are now beginning to turn the tide. If this virus were a physical assailant, an unexpected and invisible mugger, which I can tell you from personal experience it is, then this is the moment when we have begun together to wrestle it to the floor.
Europe's worst-hit country, Italy, is also trying to pick itself up. With the number of new cases dropping there, the Prime Minister, Giuseppe Conte, announced plans for easing lockdowns.
On May 18th, we plan to reopen the retail sector. The sector serving manufacturing and construction activities will open on May 4th. Also on May 18th, museums, exhibitions, and libraries, as well as training for team sports, will open. June 1st is the date when we would like to open bars, restaurants, hairdressers, all activities related to self-care.
The World Health Organization today said that prudent approach will help to save lives.
What we want to see is countries taking a step-by-step, data-driven approach that allows a country to move steadily towards a new normal, towards a new way of living that allows lives and livelihoods to return. But at the same time, not doing it so quickly that there's a rebound in cases.
The world's push to reopen, experts suggest, should not be a race, but a delicate dance. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Stephanie Sy.